Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Do you have a goal? That used to really bother me when someone asked me if I had a goal because I would get defensive. I didn't want to admit that I wanted something because that seemed to be greedy or selfish, especially if it was a big goal. Or I would look at the word goal as something to really have to work hard for, to strive for, to sacrifice so much for. And what if it didn't work? What if I tried and tried and tried and failed? I hated failing. I never wanted to admit because I thought failing made me a failure. And I certainly didn't want to admit to that. And like most people, imagination had been programmed out of me. I didn't really have a vision. And so I didn't really have a purpose. My purpose was to make enough money to live, to raise my family, to pay the bills, to pay the mortgage and buy groceries. And if there was anything left at the end of the month, maybe think, oh, one day I might go on a trip. I didn't realize that there are laws of the universe working for us all the time. And then I would hear people say, why is this always happening to me? Or what's going on in my life? I keep seeing all this, I keep attracting all these problems. Well, that is one of the laws of the universe. You attract what you think about, your dominant thought patterns. And you can tell how you're thinking by how you're feeling. If you're feeling really dejected and miserable, that's because you're focusing on your life is going in the wrong direction. As far back as you can think to go in history, in any country, you'll find that people are programmed from birth to live from the outside in, to live from their environment, their conditions, what's happening around them. We interpret the world through our five senses, what we see, smell, hear, taste, touch, and we think this is all there is. But all of the great leaders in history, all of the individuals who are recognized for their greatness, without exception, have told us that if we want to be in control of the results we get in life, we must live from the inside out. Well, what does that even mean? Do you have a purpose? Do you have a vision? Do you have a goal? Do you have something that you are sacrificing your life for? Because we're trading our time for our life, and everyone has the same amount of time. So what are you doing with the time that you have? Wealthy people do what they love. Bob Proctor said that over and over and over because it's true. You have to embrace what you love. If you're not wealthy, it's because maybe you're working so hard for a living. You're working and working, working, and not taking time to enjoy what you've worked so hard for. Taking time to enjoy the present moment. Everyone listening is a unique individual. You have specific talents and abilities that no one else has. You also have your own likes and dislikes. So if you decide that you want something different, it's not greedy or selfish. It's the unique you that is looking to expand and enjoy more life. And in enjoying more life, you actually expand the world. As you go through life, you try new things. You find there are some things that you're drawn to, some things that you're really good at. And this began in childhood. Each of us starts to differentiate ourselves from others. Some children are drawn to music. Others have an affinity for art. Others might prefer to tell stories. And some children are fascinated by numbers. There are others who, their whole life, they dream of being a professional athlete. You were born with a unique set of gifts and talents. They are genetically implanted in your mind. And these talents are discovered as you grow and move through life. It doesn't matter how much life you have lived, if you haven't discovered your purpose, there's something still meant for you. Your purpose in life will be drawn from this unique set of gifts and talents. This purpose is the thing that sets you apart and justifies your reason for being. It is something as unique as a fingerprint that only you can discover. Think about this. The exact mix of talent and purpose that defines who you are has never before existed in anyone else that has ever lived. New and innovative ideas spring forth from this resource that is in you. It is why we're still making new discoveries each and every day. The world as it is today is spinning faster, growing bigger, ever expanding. And that's what God, universal intelligence, the creator, has meant. Think about where you are living today, what kind of lifestyle you have now, and what it would be like 2,000 years ago, or when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. Even in your parents' and grandparents' day, there were no cell phones. The modes of transportation we have now were not available 100 years ago. What's exciting is what can be decided on, what can be created today, tomorrow, and 10 years from now is something that no one has thought of yet. It's important to think about developing the 6 mental faculties that you have been gifted with. So besides your 5 sensory faculties that all the animals have, you have been gifted with more talent and ability and intellectual faculties that you can even imagine. And imagination is one of your gifts. Your purpose is much like an internal guidance system. It directs your actions and thoughts and focuses them to create the life that you desire. But not everyone knows their purpose. They may never even thought about it or considered that they have a purpose at all. Maybe you think your purpose is to earn enough money to retire one day or to get out of debt. Those are not inspiring purposes for being here on this earth. If you don't know your purpose, you might feel like you're living just floating along. Whatever people say, you take it as truth. You hurry from point to point, trying one thing and then another in an attempt to make your life what you want it to be. But without a purpose to guide you in your efforts, you're just spinning your wheels. You might be getting exhausted and not really going anywhere. You may feel stuck, bored, and disconnected from what's going on in your life. And the cure for this disconnectedness is to discover your purpose. You could start by looking at all the activities that you love, all the things that you're good at. You might hear someone say, well, I am an artist, but I need to get a real job. Or I like to sing, but it's just a hobby. Or I like to talk to people, but you can't make a living doing that. What is it that you love? Don't disclaim your gift as a hobby or a worthless diversion. You can create wealth from virtually anything. It's a mistake to assume that simply because you enjoy something, it can't also be your livelihood. Once you define exactly what your purpose is, you won't even have to try to figure out how to make money. The ideas will flow freely as if someone was whispering in your ear. Everything will come together beautifully. You can't imitate another person's passion. The secret to finding your purpose is to follow your passion. Look at the activities that you would do, whether you got paid or not. Think of those times where you were so wrapped up in something that hours flew by almost unnoticed. This is where you look to find your purpose. And you shouldn't have to look too hard. The answer will pop into your mind almost immediately. The problem occurs when you immediately discount the ideas because of old belief systems. What would you do? How would you spend your days? What purposeful work would you love to do? When you discover that one idea that sparks the passion within you, you'll never have to worry about dragging yourself out of bed in the morning ever again. You'll want to leap out from under the covers each morning. You'll feel the joy and exhilaration of discovering what each new day will bring. This new idea will fill you with energy and ambition, much like the excitement one feels in starting a grand new adventure. Only you could feel it every day. Purpose is the why you do what you're doing. It is the basic motivator for your life. As you set about discovering what your purpose is, it's important to understand that it does not come from outside. You'll only find it in you. It is an innate part of your being. It can only come from within. You can't ask other people what your purpose might be. All they can offer is their view of you based on their own beliefs. Just as you can never imitate someone else's passion, someone else cannot guess your passion. You know, sometimes even people who love you the most may discourage you from chasing that dream because of their own fears, their own assumptions, their own opinions and limited beliefs. As you look within at your gifts and talents, you must set aside any negative thoughts or practical rationales. That's just fear in disguise. You cannot allow them to predict your future. This type of searching for what you really want, has turned lawyers into authors and motivational speakers and computer programmers into high school teachers. I know it turned me, an insurance specialist, into someone who is helping people attain what they really want, following the legacy that Bob Proctor taught, is what you're passionate about, what you love, you can bring into physical reality once you learn how to work with the laws of the universe. But what if you know what you want and you're afraid? Once you find your purpose, you will find a way to fulfill it. You can't let fear convince you otherwise. But what if you've tried before and failed? Every single person that you see or encounter has failed. You failed, I failed, even the most successful people. It's important to understand that when we fail, it's not that our intentions are at fault, it's that our guidance system was off. We were not in harmony with what we were trying, so it just didn't work. It's very tempting to think back to things that we might have done differently. This is like running the what ifs in reverse. What if I said this? What if I had done that? This replay of the past is a complete waste of time. You cannot change the past. You can't change the time that you got out of bed this morning. It just is. But if you constantly live in a mindset of coulda, shoulda, woulda, then it will adversely affect your future. If you've tried to create wealth before through a particular business or type of investment and it turned out poorly, you must not let your mind convince you that all business is bad, or it's not for you, or that you're a failure. You have to realize that you have the opportunity to try again. And this time you will have your purpose to guide and direct you. Listen to that quiet voice inside of you. Do not let other people or your own past experience convince you to be satisfied with a life that is less than what you want or what you deserve. This is going to take a bit of creativity on your part. Many people find this part difficult. Most of us rarely exercise our creative thought process. That shouldn't surprise you when you think about when you started school and you were told to look for the right answer instead of offering creative solutions. We take orders and we're told to do things in a certain way or suffer the consequences. This habit of doing what everyone else is doing becomes planted in our mind. So sometimes we get programmed into thinking we're not very special. We ended up accepting limitations. But I want you to realize that you have special talents and unique ways of looking at the world that are yours alone. Focus on your unique gifts, and you will come to realize how complex and spectacular and unique you are. We take for granted the things that we're good at. We think that everyone else has special talents, but it doesn't matter if you're talented at writing or drawing or playing music or drafting or good with numbers or writing a book. It doesn't matter. All of your specific and unique gifts come together to create a one-of-a-kind masterpiece called you. When you find your purpose, it is important to understand that it is not the time to get input from other people. Your purpose is just the direction, and it is a still small seed that can be destroyed by other people's opinions of what you should do with it. Once you've found your purpose, how do you express it? By creating and maintaining a vision. Vision is what you do with your life. Vision is the strategy behind the fulfillment of your purpose. You accomplish this strategy by creating several short-term goals to keep you on course. You can think about this process just like climbing a mountain. Your purpose is to reach the top of the mountain. Your vision is much like a plan or a map. It is the direction you will travel and the terrain you will navigate on your journey. And goals are the individual steps that will get you there. You set goals that will get you to the next level, and then you stop and take another look at your map. Your purpose is still to get to the top of the mountain. The map shows you that you're traveling in the right direction. So you set several more short-term goals that will help you climb even higher. This allows you to accomplish great things. It also keeps you from wandering around, trying different things that are unrelated to what you're trying to achieve. If at any point you aren't moving forward, it also allows you to step back and refocus on your purpose and see if you've gotten off course. That way you can quickly correct the situation. Don't think that every single step has to be clear before you begin. It won't be. Often you will be striving toward your purpose, much like driving in a thick fog. You can't see more than 3 feet in front of you. But as long as you know where you are going, you can make the entire journey this way, one step at a time. You must be willing to climb the slope to get to the peak. There are no shortcuts. Even if you develop a plan, you can't just set it aside and assume it will happen if you don't put any effort into it. When you decide on your purpose and you have a vision, you must be personally involved with making it happen on a daily basis. How many hours do you spend in the week directly related to achieving your goal? Is it 5 minutes a day? Is it 1 hour a week? There are 168 hours in every week. If you subtract out 8 hours a day for sleep, that leaves 112 hours that you are awake and able to function. If out of that time you're spending less than 10 or even 20% working on your goal, it's no wonder that your progress is moving at a snail's pace. If you're not giving your dream the time it needs to fit into your life, then the dream will never become your life. You must re-examine your priorities and carve out more time for what is important to you. A common mistake, though, is people get so completely carried away with the details of plotting the goals and the steps within their vision that they never progress beyond the planning stage. They talk about their plan and it sounds great, but they never put it into action because they're trying to work out one more detail, one more unknown. And that ends up being analysis paralysis. Don't get so caught up in planning, charting, and graphing your future that you never actually do anything. This is nothing more than a way to hide from your fears. Your plan doesn't have to be perfect. Get the basic ideas in place and get moving. I want to caution you not to lose the sight of the fact that you are beginning an incredible journey. It is not about reaching the top of the peak. It's about enjoying the climb. Wealth is not a destination of accumulation, but it's a journey of growth and circulation. You will meet wonderful people who will add untold joy to your life as you travel your unique path. Take the time to cultivate those friendships and relationships that add to the quality of your life. When you think about what you really want, what does it feel like to already have your goal? You must be personally involved with your dream on a daily basis, because if you don't make your dream a priority, it will never become your life. You must not fear change, and you must not live in the past or allow others to destroy your dreams. Focus on what you want, but feel as if it's already yours. You've already ordered the dream car and it's being built for you. It's on its way. Feel how it feels to be driving it, enjoying it, being proud of it. And it doesn't have to be any kind of physical object. But you might decide on a physical thing so that you can measure your results. But the vision, the purpose, the goal is to live feeling joyful, accomplished, loving what you do, and being excited, jumping out of bed. Today I get to live my passion. What does that look like? What would that feel like? Write it down. I am so happy and grateful now that this is my life. Write it down and carry that piece of paper with you. Maybe look at it every hour. Remind yourself, how do you want to be living? Create a wonderful day. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you back here Monday morning at 7. Thank you.